Monster Hunter is a 2004 PS2 game about doing three things: tracking monsters, hunting monsters, and attempting to fashion their gonads into a brand new hat to kill more monsters. The game series has had a very strong fan base over the 2 decades it's been out, and with Monster Hunter Wilds releasing to critical acclaim, I may as well meander about how to bonk with the best of them. So the question is simple: how do you make a Monster Hunter TRPG? Capital Monster Hunter, I should say. Because you can argue that most games have at least some monster hunting elements in them, with TRPGs being no exception. Now, there is a degree of ease to that statement. You have monsters, and you hunt them. Bingo, bango, bongo, see you all next week. But that's also not quite true, because the beauty of Monster Hunter is a few things, but most importantly, it's about making those three things, tracking, hunting, and gonad wearing, into the most important aspects of the gameplay. You want to track better? That means learning patterns, learning maps, and learning how the hell these monsters fight. If you're fighting a Rathalos, then it's going to be a completely different fight than fighting a Deviljho, or much worse. So hunting is simple, right? Again, do you have the right gear? Are you kitted with the right supplies to keep you alive? What are you doing in the midst of that fight to manage the flailing hellbeast from not turning you or your friend into paste? You're thinking now. You're wondering, you're questioning, and you're playing. What do you do after that hunt? Skin everything, stay around the grab stuff, maybe you want to hop back in and try again for a better roll of the Wyvern Gem that'll never drop because I can't have nice things, but then we need to do some upkeep and the cycle repeats. This is also a video game that you can put on the background as you grind 90 Rathian fights to get what you actually need to look cool. We need to adapt that into the funny clicky-clack game, and that's far more complicated than I'd like to admit. Hunters in Monster Hunter are literally built different, and pulling off rather insane feats are common enough to be nearly superhuman, but gear is also really important to everything. Hunter rank 500 and Hunter rank 1 doesn't mean you have plus 50 strength or 500 killing power, but one is wearing leather gear found in a shop and the other has the corpse of a god haphazardly stapled to their body. There's also this complete lack of anything resembling a structured plot, you could say. Monster Hunter plots are usually a prolonged justification to turn beautiful creatures of nature into beautiful fashion accessories with melodrama sometimes in the middle. So we've set up a baseline at this point. We need to make a heavy kinetic, combat-centric, equipment-based progression TRPG about fighting comically oversized monsters. This is a unique type of game, to be honest, and unique is good, but unique is also very difficult to work with. After workshopping a little bit, the main game would have to be a D6 dice pool. Yes, but basic, but bear with me here. Either we'd go the ubiquity route or a standard 4 up. For combat, the main thing would be relying on the fires far away-esque stamina die system, needing to dedicate part of your stamina to be either defensive or saving it to pull off in a retaliatory attack. As a very simple example, let's say our hunter is fighting a Diablos and we have 10 stamina die. We can dedicate a chunk of it to protecting ourselves. We don't know how successful, but each of these die is also about a 50-50. Now, the Diablos goes. Either we'll be a certain level of randomization in the attack patterns, or the GM will need to arbitrate it through a list or something. But it's attacking for 7. We can either attempt to dodge, which is difficult or null or nothing, or defend, which just reduces the total damage down. Now the hunter goes again, now on the offense, as they roll and will need to assign die to what they have. If we have, say, 4 successes and a greatsword, we can go a full power attack with all of them, or we may split it up into some minor hits. Or if we have the twin blades, we might be able to go devil mode. What if we have a sword and shield, which might be all about different combo strings that you can pull off? Well, why not just go full power every single attack? Well, that's where we may need to put in a targeting system, based on position, of course. Luckily, through Pretty here, I have a pretty decent idea how to handle this with the target map, with the monster adjusting itself based on the position of the hunter with the most aggro generated, which each weapon would need to have maybe 2, perhaps even 3 of these techniques to work with, allowing a player to think about their actions and weigh the risk and reward. Let's zoom ahead and say, congratulations, we managed to kill it. Now let's get to carving. We don't want grinding, really at all, so we managed to think of monster points for each creature. So our Diablos provides 10 points to distribute. Now we can buy new Diablos gear with these points, allowing us to outfit one person reliably, but we may want to divvy divvy up the kill, as well as further outfit multiple characters. Any leftover MP is converted into victory points, which act as our basic currency. We get some paid out by virtue of completing the quest, of course. VP, Zenny, whatever you want to call it, is then used to buy gear that you actually want, upgrade the main HQ for more long-term benefits, and maybe even buy gear for everyone that is useful. Never can have too many potions, right? The main player economy would be the constant risk and reward of those hunts. Spend too much time, lower payout. Spend too much on resources, lower payout. Get carded endlessly. Get ready for barely any payout. So we have the hunt part and the convert gonads to gear part. But what about tracking? Well, that's where things get a little bit complicated. That is asking, what do we do about non-combat? Best I could muster was like a tri or a quad stat system with a base dice pool to use. Skills have set difficulties based on training, so a smarts check to learn what a poisonous mushroom is would be a smarts versus fieldwork skill. If you're not trained in it, you might need 5 successes. If you are completely trained in it, it may be 2 or 3. Difficulty is just cutting your dice pool for these, but with the expectation of you can do all of these things perfectly, but it just takes time and effort, which costs you resources. Mix all of these things together and you have something vaguely in the realm of a Monster Hunter TRPG. Something violent, something fast, something extremely to the point. But Notepad, you just remade Kingdom Death Monster with less gigantic tracts of land. Yes! I feel as though I'm cooking some larger thought out concept of investment. The idea that would you, yes you, want to invest in long-term goals versus immediate tactile ones. More clicky-clack versus more inventory. Though perhaps this is just meandering thoughts, a deeper idea that really needs exploring. Perhaps it already exists and I don't know where. Maybe there's a secret to my problem, but hell, that's the fun part, isn't it? Figuring out that little puzzle. If you have any ideas, feel free to share them. I'm all ears to see what others think about this idea. My name is Notepad Anon, and this was my Monster Hunter design thing. If you like what I do here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And many thanks to the Guild for their continued sponsorship and keeping my lights on. Godspeed, good luck, and